For 9 seasons, we have kept you in the know about everything affecting your health. Our next guest watched an episode of The Doctors that changed her life.
Shannon and I have been married for 13 years. Shannon and I were at the dentist, and she was getting her teeth cleaned, and the dentist noticed that she had a lesion or something on the bottom of her tongue.
After seeing the Doctor show, it was that prompted me to ask him about it.
The dentist, he said, you need to get that looked at. We went to an ENT, and he looked a little more concerned. He said, I need to biopsy this. Shannon and I went in to get the results from the biopsy.
And he said the words, "You have cancer."
She had malignant squamous cell carcinoma of the tongue.
I went from having what I thought was an infection to stage 4 cancer in my lymph nodes within a space of about 2 weeks.
The cancer center gave her a chance of living at around 20%.
If I had waited another week or two, there probably wouldn't have been any chance. You wonder, have I done enough? Have I been a good mother? Have I been a good wife? How much longer do I have?
It was a 12-hour, highly invasive surgery. It took a team of 4 doctors to do it. They cut out 3/4 of her tongue. They would take part of her arm and rebuild her tongue with her arm.
One of the worst times of my life was waking up in the ICU by myself. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk. I just wanted a hug from my daughter. I had several surgeries after that.
And then they start radiation, which just wipes you out. Every time we went to the doctor, it was always bad news.
I went through 53 radiation treatments. I lost about 137 pounds total. They weren't even sure I was going to be able to talk again.
The thing that helped the most was that Shannon was always so positive and encouraging to me that we're going to beat this, we're going to get through this, it's going to be fine.
Thankfully, I had my husband there every step of the way, who was kind of my biggest cheerleader. If it weren't for him and my faith, I don't know that I could have made it through it.
Please welcome Shannon, her husband, Brooke, and their daughter, Elizabeth, to the show. You know, one of the things that, before we even start, I just want to highlight that you lost 3/4 of your tongue, and your enunciation is incredible. Your ability to persevere and just be on this stage, carrying yourself in this way is truly remarkable. Brooke, what's it like as a husband knowing that your wife is cancer-free?
To have her cancer-free, when she was going through treatments and when we were in the throes of it all, you want to be there and be the rock and be positive and encouraging and all that, and I did my best to do that, to be with her for every treatment, every doctor visit, which were constant, you know, every test, all that stuff. And one thing that is always in the back of your head that you don't want to be in the back of your head, but it's there, is that nagging doubt, what if she doesn't make it? She's everything to me. She's my life. You know, how would I go on? What would I do? And with her cancer-free, I don't have that anymore. You know, it's back to living a normal life, and now each day it's...
We're so touched that we were part of this, that you saw the piece on the show and you had something that was there only a few weeks, but something struck you like, I need to have this checked. And thank goodness you did, and hopefully the next person is watching and that has a similar problem, acts on it, because if treated early on, chances are much better.
The best thing I can say is don't wait. And don't be afraid to talk to your doctor and ask. If I hadn't seen you talk about oral health and talk to your dentist about your tongue and have them look at it, I don't know that I would have gone when I did, and they basically told me that if I had waited a few more weeks, I may not have made it.
We are so blessed to have you here, Elizabeth. What do you want to say to your mom?
I just love her, and I think she was really strong through all this because she always stayed positive, and she didn't want to let us see her down. She always stayed positive, always had a smile. She's just really strong, and I admire that a lot about her.